Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. I was looking through my archives, since I've been doing photography for a long time, being a boomer, an old boomer, and I said, oh wow, I went there and I did that? Yeah, I remember doing that. So what I did is I made some slideshows of these places I went to and put them on YouTube. A lot of them involve this lens. This is back in 2009, 2010, 2011, like that. And this is the Sigma Compact Hyper Zoom 28 to 200, 3.5 to 5.6. Well, I bought this lens a long time ago, like in 2009 or something. And back then they were sort of like a hot item, and even used, maybe I paid $100 for it. So I got a bad copy, but it seems like almost all of them are bad. Now the optics are pretty decent, except that the autofocus didn't work correctly. I don't think the aperture was stopping down consistently. I was using it on the XT, but I also used on the XTI, and I got the same results. So this lens fell to the side. But then after reviewing all the photos I took, I said, you know, a 28 to 200 is a nice zoom lens on a crop sensor, APS-C type DSLR. So now in 2025, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to see if I can pick up a cheapo now. Tamron, of course. I'm not going to get anything Sigma. And I bought this lens. Tamron AF aspherical LD IF 28 to 200, 3.8 to 5.6, 72, serial number 906281, and it's a model number 571D, made in Japan. In excellent condition, and it's paired on the Pentax K-r. First I bought this one. This one I got from KEH. Same thing. Tamron AF aspherical LD IF 28 to 203.8. Serial number 9016462. Same model, 571D. This one was a bargain. But I only paid like $15 less than this one. It rattles a little bit, and it's got some real heavy-duty industrial fallout in the two middle elements where the diaphragm goes. It doesn't look like fungus to me because it's two-way even, and it's moderate. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with it. It has some grunge on it. But I said, well, I want to get a better example in this because I had to, this is a Canon EOS version, and when I had to do it on my XCI, I had to jack the contrast up quite a bit and reduce the contrast just to get pictures that look good, and they do look good. I went to a car show, and I was very happy with the results, but I said, gee, if this one's got like industrial fallout, some sort of fog in it, I wonder what a good one looks like. But the saga goes on a little bit further than that. I also bought from B&H. I bought this one from B&H. It was a plus 8 plus grade. It shows signs of wear. Now this silver has some sort of like yellow patina on it, right? And although the optics are dusty, but they look clean on the inside. But if you look at the two middle elements where that diaphragm is in there, well, it has the same industrial fall on it, like a fog or something. It doesn't look like fungus to me because it's way even. It's so even. That's the scary part of it. How could it be even, right? This is a Pentax version. Oh, it's the same model. AF spherical LD 28. Oh, this one says macro. 0022 002727. This is 4170D. Well, this one is 570D. This is 4107D. It's the same lens, except one is silver and one is black. So I bought this third one. I went back to K-E-H, and I got this one excellent, and it is. It's really clean. And the optics are clean. They have only the slightest hint of industrial fallout. It doesn't look like I say, fungus. Fungus is usually uneven. Now, it's my theory that these lenses may have been, especially the ones that were real heavy duty, might have been housed with people who smoke, and that could be that. But be that as it may, I went to another car show. I went to the Bones, Bumpers, and Bagel car show in Morristown. It's some charity thing for children who have weak bones or something. And I gave them a $3 donation because they let me use the indoor men's room. So I said that was worth $3, right? So I was there for like, I don't know, 90 minutes or something, and I shot a bunch of pictures, and I think they came out really good. And the Tamron AF is spherical LD 28-200. It's a really nice lens. They made like, I don't know, 5 different versions. The last version was discontinued in 2002. I'll put a link to that in the comments below. But this is a 12 megapixel camera. I think it did a really, really, really good job. Make sure you get a lens hood with it. I got a lens hoods with the other two. So you're really going to need a lens hood for this, especially if it has like any sort of industrial fallout and the lens elements on the inside. And this is all plastic. I can imagine taking it apart and not breaking something. You're trying to clean it. So you really have to shop around. The difference between a bargain lens that may have issues, usable but have issues, and an excellent one that's really clean may only be like 10, 15, 20 bucks. So you gotta shop around. Now, the other two lenses, they have dedicated SLRs that they're gonna stay on. And so I decided I'm not gonna return them. But this one is definitely a keeper. And why don't we just jump right into this? Oh, there's one thing I gotta say. What is the purpose of these videos? I'm a photographer, and we're going to look at how these things react for photography purposes. You know, it's photography gear related, right? So this is the Tamron 28-200 on a Pentax K-r, and I used a car show as a backdrop to check it. I took a bunch of pictures under different phase angles. Was the sun in front of me? Was it back of me? Was it on the left of me? It was right of me. I went through a whole zoom range. I used a whole bunch of different apertures. This is a Pentax one, and it actually has a aperture ring, so I could use it on a mirrorless camera if I so choose, and I probably will. And it used a bunch of different shutter speeds. So it's a combination of the lens and the camera, and we're going to see how does that work out. Is this a viable combination? And it is. And you just can't take 5 pictures or 10 pictures and say this is it. So it's a comprehensive overview of this camera lens combination, and it's a comprehensive overview of the car show I went to. So those are the two purposes of this video. So why don't we just jump right into the slideshow. Check it out. There's a lot of photos here, and they're going by pretty quick. So if you see one, you can always hit the pause button to study it. Conversely, you could go into the gear and play back at 0.75, and this way you could absorb their attributes better. So I went to the Bones, Bumpers, and Bagels charity car show in Morristown, New Jersey. That was on Sunday, June 8th, and it turned out to be a really nice day. And I took the Tamron 28-200, 3.8 to 5.6, and it was on the Pentax K-r, a 12 megapixel DSLR, and I think it did a really good job. I had to buy 3 Tamrons in order to get one good one, because on the used market, well, it's pretty dicey when you buy stuff. Now, I gotta admit, the vendors I bought them to did have a grade on them. The one I bought from B&H was A+, and it is well used, but it functions, and that's on the Canon XTI. I did buy another one, a silver one, and that's on the Pentax K100D, and that one was a bargain. And both the ones from B&H and KEH, they had some sort of industrial fallout on the two elements in the middle where the aperture blade goes, and it was very even and it was moderate. But I mean, still, that means I had to jack the contrast up and do some other shenanigans. And although I got good results, it just wasn't right. So I went back to KEH, and they were selling one in excellent condition for only 10 or 15 bucks more. So I bought it. I mean, they were cheap enough that I wasn't breaking the bank. And this is the one that's an excellent one. It's an excellent one. It's on the K-r. I think it did a fantastic job. I know sometimes I had trouble locking the focus when it's at 200 millimeters, but if I backed off a little bit, then it would lock into focus. The focus was extremely acceptable and right on the money. There's a couple times that maybe I didn't give it enough time to lock into focus, and it was slightly off, but only slightly off. So I included them in, and there's only a handful of them. So this car show was really interesting in that it had some really cherry cars there, and really nice cars. And of course, all the car shows you go to, there's always a lot of vets there. I see Stangs. How come they don't call them Musts? And Corvettes, how come they don't call them Cores? They gotta call them Vets. I don't understand that at all. And I was there for like 90 minutes, walking around, checking things out, and blasting away. And the reason I blasted away is to see, will this lens perform? Will it just halfway through the day, would it crap out or get goofy, or did it have some chronic problem that only shows up after you take a whole bunch of pictures? And it is really good, really good. It had nice colors. It was sharp. I thought it had high resolution. Oh, get a load of this. All these lens models I got, all these Tamrons 28 to 200, they're for full frame. So you think on an APS-C crop sensor, they would be next to perfect. And this one really is, only because it had very little or no industrial fallout on the internal lens elements. Now, I've been to so many car shows. What I do is I start dissecting cars and zooming them up on details and trying to get bizarre angles and juxtapositions. And that's what I do here. You know, it's some sort of abstract, you know, wherever you go, life is abstract, and you can make it abstract. You know, you don't have to say, well, this is a car show and I must take pictures like this. You know, it's you gotta be artistic and creative, right? It's a nice lens, and I'm glad I got this one. Of course, I got the other two. I wish I didn't have to buy them, but they're both stuck on, one's stuck on a Canon XTI and the other one's stuck on the Pentax K100D. And this way, if I just want to go outside and kick around and waste time, I could take pictures on those two items. So this is a charity thing, and they had free food, but they wanted a donation. So basically, if you were going to get a breakfast or something, you give them 10 bucks, which may be cheaper than going to a store and buying a breakfast. But I used their men's room. It was in the building of some medical group for bones, and you walked in, you actually got to use their restroom. And I said, well, that was nice. So I gave them 3 bucks just for using a nice clean restroom instead of a porta potty or something. So all these cars, I love the old cars. I didn't see too many Japanese cars there. There were some foreign cars there, but they were older foreign cars, like Lamborghinis and stuff of that nature. And there's people milling about. There's a new thing now with young gals in their pink cars going to car show. That seems to be a new thing that's cropping up. The interiors, some of the interiors were amazing. They were just amazing. I mean, there's so many cherry cars there, and there are all these old classic cars. It was beautiful, you know, and it was free for spectators, and that's what's so great about it. And I have a place to check my equipment, and look at, there's all sorts of objects from far and near, and the lighting kept changing because of the clouds, and it was great. What's the bottom dollar? The Tamron 28 to 200 is a really decent lens. If you get it in excellent condition at a reasonable price, around 50 bucks, go for it.